Hi friends, welcome to Eco Engineer YouTube channel. Today we discuss about independent events. Here consider two events A and B in sample space as having non-zero probabilities. Consider the two events A and B are in sample space having non-zero probabilities if the probability of occurrence of one of the event is non-affected by occurrence of the another event. Probability of occurrence of one of the event is not affected by the occurrence of the another event, then the events are said to be statistically independent events. That events are called said to be as statistical independent events. Those events, which events is called statistical independent events? Probability of occurrence one of the event is not affected by the occurrence of the another event. Those events are called as statistically independent events. Mathematically, two events are statistically independent if one only if P of A intersection B is equal to P of A, P of B for P of A is not is equal to 0, P of B is not equal to 0. If A and B are independent events, then the conditional probability will become P of A by B is equal to P of A, P of B by A is equal to P of B. When the two events are in conditional probability, the P of A is equal to P of A by B, P of B is equal to P of B by A. That is, the occurrence of an event does not depend on the occurrence of another event. Similarly, the necessary and sufficient conditions for three events A, B, C to be independent are. Here, similarly, the necessary and sufficient conditions for three events A, B, C to be independent are P of A intersection B is equal to P of A, P of B. P of A intersection C is equal to P of A into P of C. P of B intersection C is equal to P of B into P of C. P of A intersection B intersection C. P of A intersection P of B intersection P of C. This is an independent events from three independent events. This is a two independent events. This is a two independent events. This is two independent event. Two independent events. This is multiple independent events. P of A intersection B intersection C is equal to P of A intersection P of B intersection P of C. Now we're discussing the properties of independent events. What are the properties of independent events? There are four properties. The first property, if two events A1 and A2 are statistically independent. Statistical independence is nothing but then event A and event A2 are not affected by these two events. This is called as statistically independent event. Then the A1 is not affected by A2, and then similarly A2 is not affected by A1. These two events are called as statistically independent. Then A1 and A2 bar or A1 bar and A2 or A1 bar and A2 bar are also independent to each other. When A1 and A2 are statistically independent, then the conditions are A1 and A2 bar or A1 bar and A2 or A1 bar and A2 bar are also independent to each other. The second condition, if three events A1, A2 and A3 are statistically independent, then any one event is independent of the joint occurrence of the other two. That is, if three events A1, A2 and so on A3 are statistically independent, then any one event is independent of the joint occurrence of the other two. That is, P of A intersection A2 intersection A3 is equal to P of A, P of A2 intersection A3 is equal to P of A1 intersection A2, P of A3, which is P of A1 into P of A2, P of A3. Whenever three events are in statistically independent, P of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3 is equal to P of A1 into P of A2 intersection A3. Similarly, P of A1 intersection A2 into P of A3 is equal to P of A1 into P of A2 into P of A3. Now, third question, if third point property, if three events A1, A2 and so on A3 are statistically independent, then any one event is independent if the union of other two, that is P of A union A, P of A union A2 union A3 is equal to P of A1 intersection A union of A3, P of A1 into P of A2 union A3. Here I have to observe this. P of A union A2 union A3 is equal to P of A1 intersection of A2 union A3. P of A1 intersection means it is multiple A1 into P of A2 union of A3. This is the third property. The fourth property, if n events A1, A2 and so on An are statistically independent, then any one of them is independent of any event formed by the union, intersection and complement of the others. Whenever n events A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6 and so on An are statistically independent events, then any one of them is independent of any event formed by the unions, intersections, complement of the others. These are the properties of independent events. Thank you friends. Thank you very much.